This must be the last step. I need to pray. Only by Lady Shah's grace did we even make it this far.
You feel your mind slip into shadow hearts. But you are not the only one present. There is another. Ancient, commanding, rendered from purest darkness. Shah.
Take my spear, step forward, and strike down the Selûnite.
As you command, Nightsinger.
Now go. Warm my blade with moon-crazed blood, and be wary of your companion. He pries in your thoughts.
That wasn't for you to hear! It's simple. My Lady Shah demands a sacrifice. One life. Not that it matters, but her reward aligns with your own interests. Please. How many breathed their last just so we could make it this far? Trust me. This will help us. Just remember what I said. Let me do what I need to.
Gathered. You are ready. Or so you hope. As you step into the silent water, a foreign dread travels through you. It curls its way up your leg, squeezing tight.
Lady Shah. I can feel her all around. This is her domain. This is the Shadowfell.
You did well. Better than I would have credited you with. Now, hurry along and bear witness to my masterpiece.
This is the Dark Lady's domain. He does not belong here.
The Shadowfell, or at least a little pocket of it, repurposed to house the Night Song. There is not a shadow of a doubt. But don't take my word for it. Come, see for yourself.
Best foot forward.
Ladysha's will shall be done, as sure as night will fall.
Perhaps you're right. Perhaps you're incapable of feeling at all.
Please, Aiden, spare me. Your insults grew tired and shop-worn years ago.
Balthazar, come to add more bars to my cage? Or perhaps to lead this would-be Justicia's blade directly to my heart? I invite you. Heap more sins upon your head. My retribution will be all the sweeter for them.
All this time, and you still failed to appreciate the gifts I bestowed on you, Aelin. Sad to see a thing of beauty not recognize its own worth. But General Thorm, he appreciates you, and he wants you close at hand. So, I am here to whisk you back to him.
Ketherick. I welcome the sight of him after these 100 years. He whose immortality I supply with my very soul.
General Thorm. I'm sure you'll be on your best behavior for him. Just, I've taken some precautions. Keep back. It will take quite some concentration to secure Aelin for her little journey.
The Night Song is Shah's sacrifice. She's my destiny. He cannot have her.
Bring her home. What else? Aelin is so much more than you comprehend. She is an Asimar, bound to a soul cage of my creation and lending her immortal strength to General Thorm. Her power, his will, and my genius. An unsurpassable feat.
Ramblings most unsane. Poor Balthazar. For maggots ate his brain long ago.
Hold your tongue, Aelin, or I'll take it away from you again. And you, no more questions. No more interference. Get it over with? No, this is to be savored. Return to Moonrise Towers. I'm sure we'll find further use for you there. Now don't struggle, Aelin. Well, maybe struggle a little.
A pleasure to have made your acquaintance, little warrior. We will meet again. I am eternal. I will be free one day. And I never forget a face. Until then.
What have you done? Her fate was mine to decide! You may have his trust, but you've lost mine. Farewell.
I didn't sign up for this.
What? So all this time he has been leeching his life from an immortal? The man is more parasite than that thing in your head. Well done. Did you learn how we might untether Ketheric from this night song? Pick one, whichever is quicker, and do it now! The shadows haven't consumed you. Good. Did you learn anything more? Was there anything else? Was there anything else?
That's incredible news. I won't ask for the specifics as to how. I can't believe there's an end in sight.
The General has high expectations of you. You're exceeding them. I hear Balthazar has returned, and more importantly, the Night Song is with him. General Thorm will be most pleased, but there is one more task remaining before your audience with the Absolute. There is an old inn nearby called Last Light. Some rabble is sheltering there, along with a cleric named Isabel. We have a friend on the inside watching her. Go to the inn, seize Isabel, and bring her back here, alive. Then you will stand before the Absolute. Aside from her heresy, every soul sworn to another god is stolen from ours. The fact that you seem to know this place, these people, should make your task all the easier. Unless I'm sensing doubt.
You're so close. Don't lapse now.
The General does not ask. He speaks his will, and it is so. Incapacitate the cleric, and our forces will seize her. They wait in the shadows, ready to pounce. Go and retrieve Isabel from Last Light. There is nothing else to discuss until it is done. You're rather familiar with the details of his failure. As if you were there to witness it. As if you did nothing to prevent it, perhaps.
You're so close. Don't lapse now.
How easily you forgive yourself, with no concept of what your failure means. But I will let the General explain that to you. You served him well in the matter of the Night Song, after all. Find him on the roof, and pray that he is forgiving.
The Absolute bids you step forward.
I've heard a great deal about you, True Soul. You've traveled a long way to make it this far. Lied, fought, killed. I can only wonder why. My motivations are clear, aren't they? I serve the Absolute. But you have defied her will. You failed to take Isabel, the Selûnite cleric. Indeed, True Soul, she is nowhere to be found. Half marks means you fail, True Soul. The Absolute will decide your fate. Kneel before the Absolute's altar. Throw yourself at her mercy. Or try to earn her forgiveness by retrieving the cleric Isabel. Your choice. Go on. Now. So close.
It's all over. They're all gone. My brave ones, my friends, my Harpers. I led them here. To this. You. It was you after all? All along? How could I have missed such madness? These many dead are yours. You will lie and rot among them. Oh, but I do. I traveled with one such as you once. I didn't see it at first, but I do now. The galaxy of malice in your eyes. Your blood is beyond hope of redemption. May it water these accursed grounds and grow the sickly roses that will mark your grave.
Fucking hell! Damon! How could we let this happen? There shouldn't have been crossfire here. Damon was good. He was kind to me. He better be peaceful as all hell right now. A girl can dream.
True soul. About a man who sold himself piece by piece. He had everything. A wonderful wife. A brilliant daughter. They lived not far from here. His wife died too young. Grief tore through their home like a thief, snatching away the scent of her hair, the rustle of her skirts. But the man did not break. He could not break. His daughter needed him whole, after all. She grew up, grew strong, challenged him, filled his heart with such joy it supplanted all sorrow. When she was killed, the man, he tried to remain whole. But it wasn't possible. Do you understand? The pain was unbearable, all-consuming. He decided he would do anything for reprieve. First, he sold himself to the goddess of loss. But the pain did not subside, no matter his obscene feats of devotion. Then, a new god came. A god who promised the man something wonderful. His daughter. Her life returned. Imagine it. He would have to give everything. His body and soul entire. He did not hesitate. Not for a moment. And the new god did as promised. The man's brilliant, beautiful daughter came back. She was whole. She was alive. But she despised the pitiful wretch her father had become. Her hatred he could bear, perhaps, as long as she had another chance to live. Everything I've done, everything I have built, has been to give Isabel that chance. And you, true soul, you have squandered it. You had best dredge up some scrap of respect, true soul. You will need it. I've retrieved my daughter's body, the one you so ruthlessly injured. She will live again, I want you to pay for what you've done. I have no mercy left in me. But it is for the Absolute to decide your fate. Kneel at the altar. Now. For your sake, true soul, I pray her judgment is swift. Hear us, Absolute! You needn't beg for mercy, true soul. The Absolute is not like other gods. She always gives her faithful exactly what they deserve. The prism. I scour this land in search of it, and you bring it to my door. Slave, take it!
Freedom. Find me. Free us.
Enough! If you cannot take it, then take him! Balthazar will find a way. Do it. Now!
You're awake. Good. General Thorm has tasked me with relieving you of a certain artifact. I hear it's loath to part from you. No matter. I do enjoy a challenge, and I have more than a few tools to experiment with.
Once Balthazar is through with you, you will be left as just another undead thrall. Unless you can stop him in time.
The arrogance of divinity. Your patron will not hear your prayers when I add you to my undying retinue, godling!
Today you fool.
Striking down my body will be the end of me.
Balthazar has drawn his final rancid breath. A pity it was not my hand that brought it about. Instead, it was you. You, who have come to seek the praise of your wicked goddess. You, who have come to drive a dagger through my heart.
Not a dagger, a spear. My Lady Shah's spear. Her fate is mine to seal. Let me handle this.
The fate you seal is your own. To be a Dark Justiciar is to turn your heart from everything but loss. You will know no love, no joy, only servitude, until of course your mistress inevitably discards you. And there is much she does not tell you. A terrible blood price that may extend beyond my own death.
You feel Shadowheart bristling. This is important to her. But your bond is strong. You may yet be able to sway her from the path of duty to the path of light. And Nightsong is not blind to your conflict. Behind that raging heart is the restless beat of one who knows too well that her fate hangs in the balance.
My life's purpose!
What's that I sense? A spear intended for my heart? Empowered by your goddess, aye. Empowered to kill the child of a god! Do you know what I am, little assassin? For I know you. A lost child. Frightened by wolves in the dark.
What did you say?
Much has been promised to you, hasn't it? But what has been taken from you? What do you know of your own heart? Your own life? I sense more in you than you know.
Whatever you think you know of me won't matter once I become who I'm meant to be. I can't believe I just did that. Lady Shah will disown me. What will happen to me?
Not what will happen. What will you do? Your past is not yet lost. Your future is not yet fixed. Lay a hand on me in friendship, not quite Sharon. And I will fight the battle that has been waiting for me this last century. Then, oh then, we will have much to discuss. Our Lady of Silver, hear me. She who guides the Moon Maiden Selûne, mother of the so-called Night Song. The Night Song is no more! Resplendent. You have given me a great gift, little warrior. Don't you find it oh so curious that you would spurn your Dark Lady? Perhaps you feel a stirring of the truth already. But that will come later. There is a battle yet to be fought. You have done what we feared was impossible. You have released me from a century of sorrow. Your power is great. So too must be your weapon. You must choose what you will wield. And the Moon Maiden will provide. Thus I have said, Thus will it be so. Are you ready? Oh, and it shall be yours. And then, we're going to kill Ketheric Thorn.
We need to leave. Lady Shah won't stand for us to be here, not after what we did. That's what frightens me. She must be angry. Yet, I don't feel it. Or hear it. There's only silence. Let's get out of here, please. Whatever's coming, I don't want to be in the heart of the Shadowfell when it finds me. The Night Song will be headed for Moonrise Towers. We'd better get there and see what she's unleashed against Ketheric Thorn. I am ready.
Can't wait to watch her cleave Ketheric's head in two.
Let's get on with it.
Sharp as ever.
Please, my lady. Forgive me. I thought I was done for. I thought perhaps I might have been dead. This is all like some sort of terrible dream. But it's real, isn't it? I stood before the Night Song. I heard Lady Shah's words. And I failed her. Worse than failed her, I defied her. Just because of what that Asimar said. I tried to leave, but Shah blocked me. Punished me for failing her. I thought I knew the limit of pain that the incurable wound could inflict, but I had no idea. It felt like I was suffering the agony of 1,000 people all at once. My blood was boiling, my hair was on fire. I thought I'd claw my own face off with the pain. But then she released me. Banished me, more like. She said I was an outcast. That all of her children would know me and revile me.
Shadowheart looks distraught, abandoned by her goddess and all former allies. And as for her divine magic, admitting who empowers her now may break her spirit for good.
I suppose I do, don't I? You've done more to help me than my faith has in recent times, if I'm honest. Thank you. There's been something between us for some time. A connection, more than friends. I recognized it, but didn't act on it. I thought my faith was the most important thing in my life. I couldn't have been more wrong. I've squandered too much time already. I want to be with you. Now and always. Do you want the same? It wasn't too long ago that I could never imagine smiling again. Shows what I know. Nightsong promised she'd tell me something about myself. I need to speak with her as soon as I can. What she said to me back in the Shadowfell about the wolves, that's no coincidence. She took flight to hunt down Ketheric Thorm. All I can do is help hasten his demise, and hope that answers soon follow. Do you really need to ask? I'm sorry. I have a lot on my mind. The Shadowfell, Nightsong. I can think of little else. Yes. I'm counting on it. I have little else to turn to. The sooner I speak to Nightsong, the sooner I'll know what the future holds for me. Assuming I have a future at all. Thank you. I think any attempts at comforting me might be in vain just now. But you're sweet to keep me in your thoughts.
Who was that streaking across the sky? An immortal. But it couldn't possibly be. Never mind. It doesn't matter. What matters is you have him in a corner. Jaheira and every fighting body in this place have gone to Moonrise Towers to face Ketheric down. She's waiting for you there. End this. Now. We're all counting on you.
And I'm off.
Unshackled from shadows. She will rise in moonlit glory and carve a path of brightness to the accursed one's second death. So saith the wise Alondo. That beacon of angelic wrath has taken the fight to Ketheric on the rooftop. In the first line of defense are dead. But storming the tower won't be easy, and if we wait too long, Ketheric will gather his strength and retaliate. For now, though, he's on the back foot for the first time since he returned from the grave. This is it. The spearhead moment. You brought us this far. So how shall we proceed? Ha! Sounds like something my scimitars would say. They'll strike true. See to it you'll do the same. At the ready, Harpers! In this light, there will be victory. In this light, we will avenge the fallen! The time has come. Ketheric will taste of death at last.
You dare show yourself here after all you've done? You have betrayed me, you have betrayed General Thorm, you have betrayed our god! And for what? These Harpers. Moonrise will be their tomb, and in death, you will all serve the Absolute. You hid it well. I thought you'd be another notch on my bedpost, but instead I'll make a trophy of your bones. Boys, make this traitor bleed.
Another parasite. Collect it. It might be useful.
As long as we hold this floor, the tower is ours. I'll stay here. Ensure no one comes up or down without a scimitar welcome. You're close now. A final audience with Ketheric Thorm awaits. Ha! Keen eye. I suppose I could be persuaded. Fair enough. The time has come. Ketheric will taste of death at last.
Just a peek.
You. What have you done? What have you done to me? There is no redemption, can't you see? It is too late. If Melodia could see all I've done, she'd know. She'd know her husband died long ago with Isabel. Unlike Isabel, he could not be brought back. I wish it could be so. I do. But the Moon Maiden did not intervene when my life was dismantled piece by piece. And when I tried to buy it back, it cost me everything. Everything. We are copper pieces in their belts. Tokens to be traded for scraps. You have beaten me, true soul. But the gods beat me first.
Ketheric Thorm!
Aelin.
Rise, you dog! Retribution has come, and her sword is my sword.
Aelin. I was hoping you'd come.
Free from your shackles. Free from the pets you sicked on me for 100 years. Do I frighten you, old man?
Nothing frightens me. Not anymore. Let us finish this, Aelin. I have a price to pay for my power. It will cost me your life. For my own, I have already paid. You have one last chance to bow. Once it's gone, I'll have no choice but to destroy you both. Do you hear? Bow! The prism. You've had it all this time, you worm. You will bow before me. And if you will not bow, you will break.
He will crumble at the power of your touch. Give him all you have. The gods fight at our side!
My lord beckons me. You must return to your prison, and my daughter must be reclaimed.
Your daughter? Isabel.
You will fall as sure as she. This has only begun.
That tentacle was colossal. The same creature we encountered before. We must follow where it went.
Blade at the ready. One move ahead.
My energy wanes. Time to rest. We must follow!
This isn't over yet. We need to pursue Ketheric Thorn.
The General will call that a tactical retreat, I'm sure. But you have him on the run. That thing he summoned was illithid. Follow it below and find him, before he has a chance to subdue the Night Song again. I certainly do. You have numbers enough already, I think. You'll want a small force.
Thorns back at you, impossibly wide. A single tentacle burrowed through stone.
This is an illithid colony. This must be where they harvest the tadpoles. We're close to the source of the infections.
I wager that devil I meant to rescue somewhere near. Two steps at a time. You sound almost nostalgic.
Mind flayers and civilians, side by side. This must be where they infect and transform those they kidnap.
The device does not react to your present. The device releases a stream of fragmented memories and emotions, all that remains of the pod inhabitant's former self. The device does not react to your present. Courage, conviction, defiance. You remember the shattered windows of Elturel's High Cathedral, the burning black sky of Avernus beyond. In its delirium, mania, Laughter. His mind broke before the end, and he was laughing uncontrollably as the skin fell from his face. The returned city casts your people out. The devils who your lungs burn with the dry heat of the fires raging about you. But the pain is not enough to diminish your swing. One goblin after another falls to your blade. Desperation, pain. A man's voice cries out through this pod, pulsates with the angry memories of Ravengard's search officer, Manep Shurga. Amusement, curiosity, fascination. He believed the horrors of Moonrise to be a fleeting dream that fade on waking. Your tadpole forms a telepathic connection with the device, and a chorus of static energy fills your mind. Every mind flayer in the room calls out hungrily from its pod, seeking release and sustenance. But there are others in the pods, those not yet infected, not yet elithid, terrified, desperate to escape. The device is open to your tadpole's command, to your authority.
I didn't think the others, the ambush. You've heard some of it, I'm sure. That I froze, or broke, or some other lie that is kinder than the truth. We were ambushed by cultists, yes. And then I heard her, their false god, whispering promises in my mind. I would be a paladin again.
Never be rid of it.
Owe you an explanation. Much the others, the ambush. You've heard some of it, I'm sure. That I froze, or broke. We were ambushed by cultists, yes. And then I heard her, their false god, whispering promises in my mind. I would be a paladin again, with a god's purpose, a god's power. Everything I needed to protect my people. And all the while, the cult tortured them. They fought and ran and died around me, while I imagined myself their savior. By the time I regained my senses, it was too late. I did not just surrender to the Absolute. For a moment, I welcomed it. An ugly thought, with the echo of truth to it. I won't make excuses. I can't make amends. But I know something of what you came to do. I want to help, if you'll let me. Ketherick is below. He thinks you're no longer a menace. Descend and show him how wrong he is. If there are any more survivors to be found, I'll find them and lead them out of this place. They have you. Go, my friend.
I don't know how to thank you. I thought I was done for. This is a bleeding shit show. Half my squad's dead, the other half sporting tentacles. We came here to rescue Duke Ravengard. But we didn't stand a chance. Yeah. He was in one of the pods. The cultists took him away. He was still human, and still trying to put up a fight. A couple of them.
Sure, why not?
Oh, stench. I'm beginning to think I should have stayed in that pod. In there it only smelled like me. Is there any news about Duke Ravengard? Did he get out alive?
No. Tell by your expression. Gonna have to fall on my sword, aren't I?
You have tadpoles. Unusual. Harvesting all the larvae indicates they are getting ready for
The
something
Absolute
big.
has eclectic taste in recruits.
Let's see.
This pod has a different air to its chitinous cavern. Dust and dirt are gathered on the inside. It's broken beyond repair, seemingly by a blunt impact, as if whoever was inside threw themselves against it in an effort to break out. Your brain hurls an image towards you, your own head, blood gushing down in front of your eyes. Banging your fists on a chamber until half your fingers were broken. How long inside? Days? Months? Lifetimes? The parasite was inserted into your head and your body crammed into a pod long before you were moved to the Nautiloid. A laughing woman, taunting you. She betrayed you. Who was she? Perhaps even this very pod was your prison.
By Grazit's cock! It's about time you came. Go on and gloat. Bow to your pretend crowd. All done? Good. Now, enough sniffing around and get me out of this thing.
Do it, and I'll let you off your leash. A devil always keeps her promises.
The symbol's meaning comes into focus. Annihilate. You decipher the symbol. It's an illithid sigil, meaning unleash.
Will!
The fires of Avernus roar within you. You are twisting, changing, shrinking. Your soul is forfeit to the hells.
You did all right, Will. I'd give your belly a good rub, but never could stand the smell. As for the pact, you forgot the fine print. Clause Z, Section 13. If the Soulbinder consents to separation, she will release the soul bearer from all obligation within 6 months. Ignorant thing. It's always the terms and conditions that get you. You've jumped through enough hoops. A little treat wouldn't hurt. Now, You've got business in Moonrise to take care of. Don't you fret. I'll find you soon enough. You're going to need me. Count on it. Oh, and go ahead. Tell folks how we met. It's a real cracker of a tale. Ta-ta.
A parasite, brimming with
Lashes. Balthazar let one of his walking carcasses lapse from his control. Let's ferry them back. Wait! By the Bone Lord. It's you! I thought I'd never see you again. I wanted to keep you for myself, but they shipped you away. You talk? How is that possible? Something must have gone wrong. Oh, but what an arresting voice you have. You're not supposed to be here, Special One. That's not right. But I don't want to damage you. You were my very first, after all. I learned everything about the parasites from you. I remember finding you close to death. Beaten black and blue on the floor of this sanctum. It must have been a few hours after the tadpole was placed in your skull. How you got here was a total mystery. But I stitched you up just enough to keep you alive, then placed you within your crib. I kept you as mine, until you were needed by our superiors. We had such a close bond. I opened you up endlessly with my scalpels, and got lost in your insides. I was not behind it. I do not know. But whoever did it, I'm so glad they left you here for me. Truthfully, I'm not surprised to see you found your way back here all by yourself. I always knew you were clever. It has never been the same with another. All the other victims who come here just meekly obey. You thrashed. You fought. You were indomitable. But as special as you are, you shouldn't be swanning around here, acting as if free will is yours again. We're going to kill you, sweet one. But I promise I will stay with you afterwards. Lashes, bring this one back to my table. And prepare my knives for a long night of experiments.
Pack doctor who half pieced you together after whatever caused your head to get in this mess. Someone else must have attacked you in the midst of whatever you were doing down here. This necromancer was a grunt in the scheme of the horrors enacted against you. That attacker is the source. In the heart of all these membranes, there was a dagger awaiting you all along. But from who? No will sparks behind his eyes. His mind has been hollowed out to better echo the commands of the collective. You could kill it, end its miserable life of enslavement. Surely that would be the humane thing to do. Or you could take advantage of its vulnerability and plunder what's left of its hollow mind for anything that could serve you. Pliant as well-worn boots, his mind turns to his work. Chop, cut, sort, shiver of impact, crack of bone. He removes the brains, digs free the squirming tadpoles, the unworthy ones given over to the illithids, to become.
Pawn, over.
of one mind. 4 little feet dancing to same song.
With a lurch, you realize he means the intellect devourers. Here, the brains are harvested, made part of the hive mind.
But there is one little kitty dances to another song. Same song as you. Nursery. Here, they become locked up. Bad kitty thinks it is chop chop. Master. No. Down deep. 1 of 3. 1 of 3. Yes. Yes. Please. Death. Free at last. No more chop. Chop. Chop.
What's this now? No trouble at all.
We are free! Thank you, friend. But perils remain, near and far. Better to stay together. You and us, we will remain with you. Call us, and we will be at your side.
One move.
Empty vessel, nothing more. Lending voice to elder law. Every day he comes. Every day for 3 days to ask me how I feel. I want to tell, but I am confused. Which day is it? The first, yes. 5 days since he put that thing in my eye, but the first day he came to visit. He says I am the last, that the other subjects have all changed. Eye hurts, head hurts, but he says I am past the worst of it. That I won't change like the other. He's given me a place of honor, so he can repeat his miracle and a name. True soul. She whispers in my mind. She sings, praise the Absolute. Separate cells. My head! I can feel them in my head! We are his pets. His plan, Lord Gortash. Pardon? Wouldn't do to phlegm all over Lord Gortash during my first performance. Acoustics are a little off in here. Which is... where, exactly? Right. A jester, are you? Ah, you must be vying for the Lord's patronage, too. He heard me singing in Beggar's Rest. Said he needed someone to give voice. A little over my head, being honest, but the Lord has gold. I trust he knows his business. Now, I'd best warm up. Oh, oddly sentimental. Or mayhaps you're just looking for an edge on the competition, eh? No fooling me. Patience. You'll hear it when Lord Gortash does.
The console bursts into life. A mind touches your own. Alien and full of desperate need, but fragmented too. It is incomplete. It yearns to connect, but needs you to guide the process.
Our destiny, design, downfall.
Your tadpole echoes, not with presence, but memory, tinged with loss.
The grand design, order, perfection, unity, every plane as one, every being in their place.
That loss blooms into a sudden fury, burying claws in your mind.
Taken, corrupted, gone.
And just as suddenly, pain and memory are gone, leaving only stone once more.
The grand design. The restoration of the Mind Flayer Empire. The dream of all Illithids.
Fine bones, sharp jaw. Some variety of elf. Pretty enough for a flesh prison, if not the noble Githzerai features I was born with.
The monk-like Githzerai, sibling race to your own Githyanki. The only beings your people hate more are the Illithids themselves.
I'd guess you're no willing guest of the Gate either. Perhaps we might aid one another. A Githzerai's mind is not so easily cracked. Our discipline was the very reason you were attacked. My order taught a psionic technique much feared by the Gate. They destroyed us for it, and kept me as a trophy. I never broke, but I've spent all these centuries awake, aware. So here is my offer. Use your tadpole, erase me, and I will pass my technique on to you.
A prickling flame runs across the back of your mind and the edge of your soul. Your patron bids you caution before agreeing to this pact. The monk isn't telling you everything.
All right, The Gate did not find my monastery. I led them there. They promised me immortality, and they gave it. I have been their rotting trophy for centuries.
As her agitation swells, so does her latent psionic power. To your tadpole, that guilt and terror are almost fragrant. You realize the Illithids locked her away not as a trophy, but as a fine vintage.
Please, touch my mind and purge it. The moment you do, my knowledge will be yours.
The awareness that floods you is nothing like the tadpole. It is tentative and tinged with the loneliness of eons. It fades beneath your touch. But
It is only knowledge yet, without comprehension. But when you use it, you will see. And I see.
Mine too. It's excited by something down here.
no longer a background murmur. The presence in your mind builds to a roar.
We've found it. The Absolute is behind this door.
The orb pulses strangely. It feels unsettled. The heart of the Absolute is close. As is the moment when you must decide if you will follow Mystra's orders or reject them.
You said it was under control.
It isn't you I answer to, Gortash.
Motherfucker! Gortash!
Oh, the general voice. Is this where we salute?
Salute, yes. With cleavers through his blood-starved flesh. How it crawls with failure, like flies on lick-wet carrion.
You forget yourself, Orin. I have played my part.
You've built an army for our masters, true enough. But what of the astral prison? A rogue true soul flaunting it under your nose all this time, and you ran from him.
Sure that they would follow and deliver it into my hands here. If you would cease these distractions.
The distractions have been yours, Ketherick. Perhaps we never should have dug your daughter up. So you haven't lost your edge. But you're still not as sharp as Orin, I wager. The Slayer against the Undying One. That'd be fun to see.
His crypt breath sings to my sinews. Again, 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 again. But he must lead the murder march to Baldur's grave.
If the weapon is truly in your grasp, Ketherick, might I suggest closing your fist? Orin and I can wait for you no longer. The plan proceeds. We're going to the city, and we expect you to follow. Army and the weapon in tow.
The Edict of Bane!
The Lash of Ball!
The Testament of Merkel!
An elder brain. One of the cruelest and most powerful creatures in existence. Enslaved by mere mortals.
The sight of the crown atop the Elder Brain strikes you like lightning. Never before have you beheld an artifact of such unrivaled power. You realize that it could change everything. Your own course, your own life, the destiny of worlds. But here, in this very moment, lies your chance to heed Mystra's call. This must be it. The end of the Absolute. Beneath the smoking ashes of Moonrise Towers, the Elder Brain lies destroyed. But what of the tadpoles it commanded? Freed of the Absolute's control, they will complete their transformations. A plague of illithids will soon descend on the Sword Coast, enslaving all they do not infect. It is an ending of sorts, though not the one destiny had in store for you. The sight of the crown atop the elder brain, you realize. But here, in this the orb senses your hesitation. It shudders within you, longing for something, though you cannot tell what. A prickling dread rises along your spine. You have disobeyed Mystra. Again. If you survive this, there will be consequences.
There we are. It wouldn't do to fight in front of our guest. Behold, Duke Ravengard, the Absolute.
Whom preserve us?
You wag your word flap in vain, Alderling. Once the worm holds the whip, your shredded flesh will serve us. You freeze at the sight. Your own father, Duke Ulder Ravengard, seized by the Chosen. Yet for now, there's little you can do.
Now, it's really time we were going. We will empty this place and begin the march. You may catch up with the army once you've retrieved the weapon. And Ketheric, do try not to sulk. You're supposed to be the fearsome general come to conquer the city. And I am the hero who will save it.
It is time, faithful ones. March on Baldur's Gate. We go to prepare the way!
Checking things out.
There you are, as predicted. What is it, I wonder, that draws one toward death like a moth to light? You could have run away, absconded with the prism. The one thing that could prevent me from fulfilling my destiny. But the lure of one's destiny is irresistible, isn't it? Perhaps you hope to learn your place in history before you are erased from it. A bright flash of clarity before the snuffing out. Your place is to die so that I might finally live. Let us speak plainly. My Lord Merkel gave me the one thing I desired, the one thing no other god could grant me. My daughter's life returned. Her heart beating once more. For that, he asked that I serve as his chosen. Join Orin and Gortash to grow the cult of the Absolute, and then take control of it. He's never had a more devoted follower. I have fought great wars before, in the service of other gods and other powers, but for Merkel, I would condemn all of Faerun to death. You are all that stands between me and my destiny. And you have brought the prism here. I will kill you now. And then I will raise you as my servant. Yes. Join the army of the dead, true soul. Witness Lord Merkel's glory. There is no repentance, no release. My debt can never be repaid. He is here. He is watching. He is listening. He is.
You dare end one who belongs to me. I am the smile of the worm-cleansed skull. I am the regrets of those who remain, and the restlessness of those who are gone. I am the haunt of mausoleums, the god of graves and age, of dust and dust. I am Merkel, lord of bones, and you have slain my chosen. But it is no matter, for I am death, and I am not the end. I am a beginning.
Shit.
Impossible. Death cannot take me. I am its master. My lord, hear me. Nothing. I am forsaken. You have no idea what you've done. Isabel.
The villain is dead! The wretch! Together, we have crushed him, brain and body! Now, we pick our way toward our fates, unleashed.
You have my sword. My fealty. Do what you must. Then we fly this foul place.
Apostle of Merkel. Hadn't expected that. Oh, Gortash.
Ketheric's netherstone. It's in his armor. Take it.
Keeping pace.
In death, the body is cooling, but energy radiates from the stone.
Remarkable. Truly. And now the picture comes together. The Absolute is neither god nor man. It is the Elder Brain you saw, held here by those three against its will. The crown it wears controls it, and these stones control the crown. It has been dominated, to master an elder brain, to subdue it. Our enemies are formidable. A temporary reprieve, but a welcome one. With a brain on its way to the city, its influence here is weakened. The crown's markings suggest it was forged in Netheril, an ancient empire whose mastery over magic rivaled that of the gods. It is a crown of domination. The stones were taken from its crest. They are nether stones, imbued with the ability to control the wearer of the crown. The crown's Netherese magic must be the true source of the parasite's abilities. This must be what elevates their potential. And it must be the reason nobody could heal you. If the crown can do this to the parasite, I dare not imagine what it is doing to the brain. One of them I know, Lord Enver Gortash, an arms dealer and a slaver. A worshipper of Bane, the god of tyranny. The other is a mystery to me, but the way she spoke, it is most likely she follows Baal, god of murder. Ketheric was a follower of Merkel, which means the Absolute is a front for the gods of death, and our enemies are the chosen of the Dead Three. Bane, Baal, and Merkel. They are known to pick from their most devout followers, a chosen, granting them incredible powers. Each one alone would be a formidable enemy. But working together and controlling an elder brain, I dare not imagine what they might achieve. We prepare for the fight of our lives, and the lives of everyone in Faerun. The army of the Absolute is marching on Baldur's Gate. Within the city, an elder brain, brimming with power, ready to turn everyone within its reach into mind flayers. All it needs is an order. An order the Death God's chosen are on the cusp of giving. We must wrest control of the brain from the chosen before that happens. We must take their stones. Our chances of success are slim, but we must not fail. If we fail, everything ends. I will be your shield, and when the chance comes to strike, you must take it.
What the fuck was he doing down there? Is all of this because of him? The tadpole, the Absolute. How? I'd never have protected a Baneite even a decade ago. I looked after that fucker with my life. I trusted him. He gave me away to Zariel without a second thought. And now he's looking to ruin the entire Sword Coast. He has to die. And I'm gonna be the one who kills him. He can't get away with what he's done. To me. To us. He won't get away with it.
I would not linger in this land over long. But, whatever your business, I will aid you if I can.
You wanted something?
Hey, soldier. You saw the extent of Flo's friendship. She'll lend you a hand, long as she can crush your spirit while she's at it. I knew if she'd been completely different from who she was, nothing worth reading. Cambion manipulation at its most, and a devil will never know.
Sure, why not?
Aelin! Isabel! My love. You were dead. I saw your body. I'm here. And so are you.
And my father, he can't hurt us any longer.
I dreamt every night that you'd come back to me. That somehow it was all a nightmare Dawn would undo.
I had no dreams at all. Nothing but darkness. And when I woke, my father said you were dead.
His soul was poisoned by the god of death. His sick devotion ruined him. But for all his sins, he brought you back to me. Are you all right?
I will be. And you?
In this moment, I want for nothing.
Ah, there you are. This is Aelin. Aelin, this is...
Oh, but we have met. This is the soldier that freed me most valiantly from the Shadowfell. They watched my boot crush the very brain of villainy, and fought well against your changed father.
May he rest in peace at last, now that he's dead. I have more to thank you for than I knew. And we have much to discuss. Perhaps we could join you in your camp later? I am. And I'm glad he's dead. But this is precisely what I want to speak to you about later. It'll keep. I promise. Very good. We look forward to it.
Now, you will leave us. We must take succor in one another's bodies and words.
Aelin! We'll see you later.
We'll need food, medicine, some bedrolls if we're feeling luxurious.
Helm's blessing.
We do once we reach the city. Back in Last Light, I was racking my brains. How the hells do we get past the curse? And then, a blinding light cuts through the darkness like a blade through butter. All thanks to you, I hear. Didn't think we'd make it without the old El Rider to lead us. But you did a damn fine job. I would. He didn't have any fight left in him.
The briefest hesitation as Ceres wars with old loyalties and wins.
I looked up to him. We all did. But he let us down when we needed him most. There are less mouths to feed, but we still need supplies for the road. We'll scavenge what we can. Hopefully, we'll see you again in the city.
Thy hunger denied. Soluna's faithful yet shines. The balance shifts. Thou hast seen with thine own eyes and felt in thine urges. The dead three unite. There are depths to this alliance yet unplumbed. Consider, mortal. Do Illithids possess souls? No. Nor canst thou count mind flayers among them. Yet, the three amass an Illithid army void of apostolic souls that could imbue them with power. A flock without souls, yet to what end, O tempted one? This is the question thou must come to answer. Until such time, be availed of my services. Where matters of balance are concerned, I am eternally cold. Nothing thou dost not already know. Yes, Bane, Lord of Darkness, Baal, Lord of Murder, Merkel, Lord of Bones. Once judged, ascended, then vanquished, as one and as three. The alliance is reforged, mortal. The plains thus quake, and the gods shudder.
Long.
Alive. Thanks to you. You did well to defeat Ketheric. But Ketheric was only the first to fall. There are many more battles ahead, and they will not be so easily won. You will need allies. Whatever you might do to one cannot be worse than what the Chosen will unleash on all. And you are the one who could prevent it. You have the makings of a leader. Your actions have already inspired those around you. Jaheira's wisdom will be an asset to you on the journey ahead. Her Harper's too. But if we are to succeed, we will need others. Even if the buildings are demolished, there are always survivors. Baldur's Gate may not know it yet. Seek on its streets those whose purpose aligns with our own. Together,
Hey! Hey! Sorry. It knocks the wind right out of me. I don't think so. I'm good. Well, kinda good. That druid idol I took? I think real hard and say some loud words and then it happens. Mostly. If I get strong enough... Okay. I promise to... Then the vines won't... Just till you find Mum and Pops. I won't be any trouble, I swear it. So you send Mum and Pops there...
I'll see what I can do.
Just found a blip. That body she's working on. That's Arabella's father.
Most unorthodox. Not dead. Merely medicated. To ease the pain. Yes. Yes.
Hey, you. You find Mum and Pops? No. I don't believe you. It isn't... Get up... Leave...